Rainwalk Danny in Houston, Texas here with the one and only Mr. Wali Moses. Pop, how you doing?
All right, yourself?
I'm all right. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Another camp. Chose to do this one in Houston. Talk to the people. September 23rd, y'all coming home.
Yeah, he's coming home, and he's been waiting to perform in Newark since the last time we fought there. And the greatest thing about it, he's coming back to perform as a world champion.
As a unified champion at that.
Unified world champion.
Yes, sir. What's that mean for you to be able to see, your grandson perform, in front of the home crowd under your tutelage? Like, you the one that have gotten him this far. What does that mean for you?
It's, like another day at the office in terms of me, because, everything, we've been doing been actually about him, you know what I mean? So, I've been a coach before he was born, so I was doing this for a long time. So, what I like best out of him having his accomplishments and his dreams come true, because one of his biggest dreams was to fight at the Prudential Center at home, so it's happening now.
Robson Cancio gave Oscar Valdez a very tough fight, and that was a fight right before you guys took care of Valdez and claimed that WBC strap. What can you tell me about Robson Cancio, and what do you expect him to bring come September 23rd?
I expect him to beat Robinson. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He performs. I never seen him have pretty much a bad fight. Ever since I was watching him in Brazil, and Shakur got a chance to spar him in Brazil as well, and stateside as well. So judges, we're not gonna say he's the same fighter, but we wouldn't expect any more. But I know for sure we're not the same fighter. We're a much better fighter, bigger fighter, stronger, and a more experienced fighter. So, from my point of view, I like our chances.
So from that sparring, it sounds like you guys got the better of it, and I understand sparring is sparring, but would you say Shakur got the better of that sparring with Robson in Brazil and stateside?
Well, I'm gonna say Shakur gets the better of sparring with everybody. So let me just say that. I feel like Robinson puts his pants on just like everybody else. So I think he would deserve the same treatment as everybody else.
After becoming unified and beating Oscar Valdez, what expectations did you have for Shakur? Because the Valdez fight, he obviously beat Jamel, beat a world champion, and then he had another world champion in front of him. Any concern of Shakur waking up for this fight or getting up as much as he did for those other big fights?
Well, let me say this here. Shakur and we won our first world championship at 14 years old in Ukraine. And we were fighting against a defending Ukrainian champion, So, when it comes down to big fights, he's been a big fight guy all his life, I think, a lot of times the odds are always stacked against him. We going to Ukraine, fighting against a Ukrainian champion. His second world championship, I think we fought against two other defending world champions, inside that in Bulgaria in 2014. And the Olympic gold medalist, he fought the bronze medalist from China, and the youth men's Olympic gold. So big fights, he's been stepping up. It's no problem with that. I think each opponent, he view him as the same, nobody any less. It's one thing that I clearly, implemented to him that says, Shakur, before you used to be the hunter. Now you the hunter, so the target is on your back. So, you have to prepare just as hard. And I like the way he stepped up the last two camps, His preparation has gotten better. He came to camp in much better shape. So the maturization, along with the experience, is really kicking in now.
So right now we're about 5.5 weeks out. How happy are you with the way Shakur is looking in the gym?
Well, I'm always pleased, and me as his coach, I'm never always gonna be completely pleased, because, I'm always gonna see things that we have to talk to about, things that we can always get better at doing. So I think, I'm pleased. I'm great and gratified in the direction that we're heading in, going into this here fight and going home. I think by the time, these 5 weeks will come, we'll be at peak performance.
Last time I spoke to Shakur, I was here last month, and he said after this fight, that's it. I'm not fighting nobody else at 130 that's not a champion. Do you think that Top Rank and Bob Arum gives Shakur the opportunity to go for undisputed at 130?
Well, I should have mentioned this here about one of his dreams, but, we were really looking forward to trying to have this fight in Newark to be for the IBF title, being that's a, New Jersey-based title. So we were looking for that. And with the efforts of this here fight, hopefully, if, making 130 is not too much a problem for us anymore, and I think that we'll try to unify all the titles here before we move up. That's and become an undisputed world champion and then move up.
Looking forward to it. Hopefully, Top Rank and Bob give you guys that opportunity. Got a few questions from the fans pop up before I let you go. Ruin of 504 says, "What's your opinion on the decision by the Olympics to drop boxing?" And obviously, that's for the 2028 Olympics. I think 2024 in Paris will still have boxing, but just your thoughts on that being a thing.
Don't let them fool you, because I'm gonna tell you basically, boxing. This is just my opinion and what I went through and what I've seen myself, through the Olympic experience as a coach. That boxing is a totally minority sport, so it wouldn't be a problem for them to get rid of boxing for us, because it's a total minority sport. So I've seen the money from boxing go to wrestling facilities and go to others. And the boxing, when they built the brand new facility, I was there, and that year I think it was 2012. That wrestling wasn't even Olympics, right? So they were campaigning to get the funding for the new building. So by the time 2015 came around, they built the new building. Wrestling was the first one went into the facility, and now boxing is housed in the old wrestling facility. Now through 2012 through 2015-16, we had to share USA Boxing, the facility, with gymnastics and taekwondo. So, let me tell you like this is, boxing wasn't in their plans back then. And the outgoing director said that he didn't want boxing back up there anyway. So, this has been in the makings for a long time. It's not because just as boxing, like I said. My opinion is it's truly a minority sport. And that's why they were so anxious to get rid of it. Boxing draws the most money, as far as donators, boxing is one of the highest contributors. Because I seen when I was there, it was 60 investors from Wall Street pledged to give money. Boxing never seen it, you know what I'm saying? So, that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that on any statement on any facts, but like I said, when I'm in there, when I was there, my experience, it's not like the athletes are on one team. It's they asked us to go out and watch the girls basketball team play or whatever, but they never asked anybody to come watch
boxing.
Right. So that's just like I said. That's just my opinion.
I got you.
It's not based on any facts that I've gotten, but just my experience.
I got you. Last two, we got James Valdez in San Antonio, Texas, that says, "What are your thoughts on Wilder's return to boxing?"
Well, I think his return, but if he's gotten better, boxing wasn't his problem. His defense was his problem. So if he got better with his defense, I welcome his return.
Let's go.
I like to see him fight again. He brought a lot to boxing. Just like all the other amateurs that are fighters that bring that electric thing to boxing. We all love to watch him.
Absolutely. Last one, our very own right here in Houston, Texas, Brandon Lynn says, "On your appearance on the Boxing Voice last time, you had some choice words for Koroma. Have you two spoken since?
Right.
And do you see any scenario where you two could be on friendly terms?"
Well, it's not that we're not on friendly terms. It's, like I'm a person of truth and, and integrity, you know what I mean? And, I feel like people that, you know, that's not truthful and honest about themselves. Like I always tell everybody out here when this here boxing thing when it comes down to trainers and coaches and everything else, everyone should ask about a resume, and their resume should speak for what they do. You know what I mean? If everybody stand behind their reputation, then it speaks behind itself, not what they say. You know what I mean? Because, you know, boxing follows is a record for what we do. I mean, you winning as a coach, you can look up your record, see how much you won. If you lost as a coach, you can see how much you lost as a coach. And, you know, I recommend all fighters, trainers, and future fighters to check out your trainer's resume and see how much they really won and who they really are.
Well, it's a pleasure as always here with the New Jersey Hall of Fame inducted, Mr. Wali Moses. Pop, thank you very much for your time. We can't wait till September 23rd.
Me either.
YouTube family, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Help us get to that 1 million subscribers. We're on the road to 1 million. And obviously, we have other great content on our Patreon channel. So since this video is over, head on over to our Patreon and check out all the exclusive content or right here on our YouTube members.